make it a better place.
Hello, this is Alison from Ink and Up Canada. Today I want to show you a really cute technique called Mother of Pearl. Here's the finished card. I want to show you how to make this really cool background. So let's get started. For this technique you're going to need glossy cardstock. You're also going to need the shimmery paint. And I've chosen the frost white because I really like just to get that subtle white color with the shimmer. The next thing you need is some plastic wrap, and I've taken some plastic wrap and I've just scrunched it up into a little ball, like so, just grabbing it all and just kind of making a nice little ball with it, because you want all these little creases in your saran wrap just to give it some character and dimension. Next thing you want to do is mix up your paint and just put a little tiny dab of it in the middle there. You can use a plastic plate for this technique. The paint won't come off, but if you just keep using the same plate over and over again and dedicate it to this technique, then that will work. I've chosen to just use some plastic wrap so that I can just peel that off and throw it away at the end. Next thing you want to do is take your saran wrap and just get the paint on there, and you just want it to be kind of spread out amongst all these little creases. Bring back in your glossy cardstock and you're just tapping the surface of your paper with the paint. You don't want to cover the entire surface here. That's not the intent. The intent is to just get some really cool designs on here with the paint. You will have to set this aside and let it dry. Now that our piece of cardstock has dried, we can now go ahead with the next step, which is to brayer some color on. Because this is paint, it is resisting the ink. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So wherever their paint is, the ink will not stick. For the brayering, I've got my brayer and I've got ink here. This is certainly celery. And I wanted to show you the correct way of inking up a brayer. Roll right through the pad. So just roll it, just like you're loading up a paint roller for a wall. If you just go back and forth like this, you're only going to get ink on this part of the brayer. You're not going to get it all the way around. So when you go to roll it, you're not going to have ink all over the roller, which is what you want. So just roll right through it, like so. I'm going to bring in my piece of cardstock, and now you're just going to start off the paper and roll right across, and just keep rolling. Don't worry if you get little lines, that happens, but if you just keep going, especially with glossy paper, the ink will just spread naturally on your paper, so that works. So after you've got it rolled, you can see that the ink is, the paint, sorry, is resisting the ink, but in order to just get it a little bit more defined, I'm going to take a paper towel and I'm just going to go over the piece, and that's just going to remove the ink from on top of the paint, which is what you want to do. It'll still stick to the paper underneath, okay? After that, you can use this for a background piece of paper, which is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to bring in one of my favorite stamp sets, which is Lovely as a Tree and Stays On ink. And I'm using Stays On because it dries on glossy paper. So ink that up and line it up. Just stamp. Of course, Stays On is a very sticky ink, so sometimes when you go to lift it off, this is what happens, but that's okay. Just hold the edge down and peel it off. And that's your stamped piece. And I'll just bring in the finished card again. So here's the card, and you can see I've just used it as a background and then added other elements to it. So again, this is called Mother of Pearl. Please check back on Tuesdays because I will be posting Technique Tuesday videos. Thank you so much for watching, and happy stamping.